This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. This is a new day to live your life. This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. It's life in football. We are life in football.
You are now listening to the Life in Football podcast. Check out the new website, lifeinfootball.com. Once again, the website is lifeinfootball.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to the Life in Football podcast, baby. I'm your host, Mike P.
And this your co-host, Colin Moore. You know we loving life and enjoying football.
Top-notch coaches all around the world. Top-notch coaches all around the world. Today, we got a top-notch coach on by the name of Drew Engels. He's the offensive line coach, run game coordinator, and the recruiting coordinator for Erskine College out of South Carolina, the Fleck, baby. Their football team is one of the up-and-coming programs. They got upgraded facilities, and they doing some big things in their conference. Now, this coach we have on today, he got an extensive coaching background. He done coached at Western Michigan, Southeastern, Hope, Grand Valley. Let me see. Oh, I'm missing one of them. Western Michigan, Grand Valley, Hope. Let me see. Oh, Grand Valley, Western Michigan. Oh, Miami University. Now, y'all, I do my research and I try to make sure I know all this stuff so I can just run it off to you, because I actually don't be looking at no paper or nothing for the majority of the time. But this a coach, man. He's put in a lot of hard work. I mean, we've been seeing him on social media, interacting with positive messages, and I just love what he got going on. And I love what their football program got going on as well, man. Matter of fact, when he was at Southeastern, their offensive line was one of the top offensive lines in the country. They had a big offensive line, big-time offensive lineman come up out of there too, was an All-American. And I'm telling y'all, man, this coach is on the rise, and he's doing some positive things out here in the football world. And this is what it's all about, man. When you got a coach out here with a lot of knowledge and knowing the game, but most of all want to help the players. But without further ado, this is the story of Coach Drew Engels.
How you doing, Coach?
Good. How are you guys?
Hey, great. It's a blessing to have you on too, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to be with you guys. I tell you what, when you guys first started all your stuff, man, seeing that come across, you guys do some awesome stuff online and social media stuff. It's always good to see what you guys are putting out. So I'm excited to be talking with you guys.
Hey, same here. We definitely appreciate that, Coach. Now I gotta get right to it, Coach. Like when, and I ask all my coaches because you like to know, when did it start? When did you know that you actually wanted to be a football coach?
For me, it started pretty early. In high school, I loved football, loved competing, and went basically in college. Like, what do you want to do? What do you want to major in? I knew I wanted to teach and I wanted to coach, and that was kind of, the only thing I was kind of thinking of at that time. And so went to college, got a degree in special education. My plan at that time was, hey, I'm just going to go coach high school, be a high school football coach, and live the dream. Towards my about senior year of college, I was talking to some guys and thought, hey, maybe, this grad assistant thing's pretty cool. Can I get involved with that? And so tried to get a bunch of grad assistant jobs and found one at Grand Valley State University. Was fortunate to be at a place that was a fantastic program. Chuck Martin was our head football coach at the time. And we got to go to the national championship game. So it was a really great start for me in terms of seeing a college football program and, just what great opportunities can be provided to young kids through that. So for me, I guess, long story short, it was high school. I knew I wanted to coach. I wanted to teach. I didn't necessarily know at that time where the Lord was going to lead me through all that stuff. But from early on, I knew I wanted to teach and coach. I loved football. I loved competing. So.
See, that's a blessing, Coach, because a lot of us players, all we do is pursue the football, try to get to the league and really have no clue what we want to be. So it's nice that you got that glimmer of hope right in high school. So what do you tell your players now? I know they probably come sit in there and ask you in the office, hey, coach, man, what you think my next move should be like? How do you help those players?
Yeah, I think, every kid is different, and they're all individuals. And I think trying to steer them in the right direction of, okay, what do you want to do with your life? What are your skills? What are you good at? What are you not good at? How can we improve those? And just what do you want to do with it? You've been given a life. You're created for a purpose. What are you going to do with it? Some of those guys might be, hey, all right, you want to go to the NFL? That's great. You might have. I've had guys, been around plenty of players who've been drafted, who've been in the NFL, and then the other one, and some of them not. So, and that they should try to pursue that if that's what they want. But you also have to have, at some point, for all of us, we got to stop playing sometime. And what are you going to do then? And what are you going to do with the gifts God gave you when that happens? So it doesn't matter how good the player is. At some point, he's going to have to stop playing football. They're not going to play football till they're 80. Okay, it doesn't matter how good they are. So they've got to have a plan in place for what happens afterwards. So and just trying to help them, figure out what that is.
Coach, just like Simo just said, earlier, he had a question he loved to ask all the players and coaches. I got one I like to ask too, because I like to know your background and how it was for you growing up and who helped you to become the person that you are today.
Yeah, that's a great question. And for me growing up, I grew up in Michigan. Okay, so I grew up in Michigan playing football over there. I was not a great football player. I started for a few years in high school, and I played Division III football, so I was not a great player by any means. I was lucky to be started on a team in college that we won 2 conference championships, but I knew right away, from there that I wasn't going to have a chance at the NFL. So for me, in that time, it was one of those things of, hey, I'm not going to the NFL. What am I going to do? And I had people pouring into my life, from my high school coaches to my parents, to my college coaches, of really helping me, figure out, hey, what do I want to do with my life? And, I think there's a lot of people that have been really influential on me. There's probably too many to name, but definitely I think one of my first influences in terms of just what do I want to do would be my parents and probably, family members. And then when it comes to football, no one in my family had played football. So I was the first one to do it. And then, my high school coach was really the first person who really, I kind of sat there and said, dang, I've got a future in this to keep this game going. And I see what he's done with me and with my teammates. And Coach Sigler was his name, Irv Sigler. And he did a great job of just developing relationships with kids and helping them improve, not just on the football field, but off the football field. So he was very influential for me. And then every stop I've been at along the way, Lord's really blessed me with being around some outstanding, not only outstanding football coaches, but outstanding people. And to be able to see how those guys interact with kids, how they can help them develop and grow, has been huge for me. So, I played for a guy, Coach Krebs was his name. He was the head coach at Hope College. He kind of got me into the college thing. And then, a couple guys, when I got the opportunity, I got to go to Western Michigan, Miami of Ohio. So Western Michigan, I was with Coach Cubit was there my first year. And then he moved on to Illinois. And then Coach Fleck came in. So P.J. Fleck was there. And, Coach Fleck did an amazing job of getting that program going. And then from there, went back to Miami of Ohio, where Coach Martin was. He went from Grand Valley. He went to Notre Dame. Then he got the head coaching job at Miami of Ohio. He's had a lot of success there. And so I was in those situations and getting to see it done at those levels. And then was fortunate to move down south. I got a job at Warner University in Polk County. And, I'm so thankful for that move. I've met some amazing people down in Florida. Rod Schaefer was the head coach at Warner University at that time. And then, Keith Bearfield was the head coach at Southeastern when I was there. And, as much as those other guys had shaped my life in terms of football and what I thought in football, and I've been around some very good, outstanding O-line coaches. George Barnett's the O-line coach at Iowa. I got the opportunity to work for him. Brian Callahan was a guy who was at Western Michigan. He's at Minnesota right now. And job-wise and football-wise, technique-wise, I've learned so much from those guys. But when I got to Florida and, was working for Rod Schaefer at Warner University, something changed. And that's where I think in my life, it changed from, okay, just football to, okay, there's the faith aspect also. And God's called us here for a reason. And what are we really doing, with these kids? And that was huge for being around guys like Coach Schaefer and Coach Bearfield. They did a phenomenal job down there in Polk County. I'm just so grateful to have been a part of those guys. So, because they've had a lot of influence on me, probably in the last 5 years. Not necessarily always football technique, how to block somebody, what play to run, but developing the athlete, the player off the field. So.
Hey, Coach, I love what you just said for us, developing the athletes off the field and how the coaches help you, build your character and pretty much assisted you with your coaching style as well. Now, Coach Boyd, who's currently the head coach at Erskine, they have this program set up and he's doing a good job for us with y'all great coaches that's surrounding him and promoting and building such a great program. I want to know, like, from you as the coach, as one of the coaches, any recruiting coordinator, like, give some insight to any recruit or any player out there who may have an interest in y'all school.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're at Erskine College. Joining the SAC conference next year. So we just got in that. We'll play independent schedule this year. We're joining the SAC next year. Be the coaching staff. Coach Boyd has done a phenomenal in Florida for a while, at Jacksonville University for a while. He was also at Southeastern as well. And bounced around throughout, been a coordinator and got the chance to be head coach here. He's brought in a lot of guys. We've got a bunch of guys from Florida, coaches from everybody on our staff has played or coached in the state of Florida. Also around here, Georgia and those places as well. So we're looking for guys who, obviously who want to play football in the South, who want to play scholarship football, and who also want to go to a Christian school. And not all of our guys need to, they don't all have to be, want to become ministers. But we are looking for guys who are open to being around a coaching staff that wants you to improve your faith and that you want to be around that and become a better person as well. So we're very fortunate that, this school is, like I said, they're growing with football. So they put up a new weight room for us, got a new field house, which went in. The next part of that program is putting turf in the fields. But the school's committed to growing the school through football and committed to our guys coming in and having a great program. So, we've been fortunate. We've got some great athletes. We've got some good people, and just looking for guys who come in and want to be competitive on the football field, want to be competitive in the classroom, and want to get a great degree while they're here and be around football as well. So, that's what we're looking for. So we're fortunate that we're South, but still doesn't. Being from Michigan, going down to Florida, and loving living in Florida, it's nice to know that it doesn't snow here. So I've enjoyed that part. But overall, we've got some phenomenal people on campus helping out our guys in the classroom, outside of the classroom, on the football field. So.
Well, Coach, I gotta say, man, I love everything you say. Far as y'all college and the uniforms and the new facilities and everything. And I gotta say, we had a few hiccups just then when you were talking, but we got majority of it. But I'm
Gotcha.
telling you, players, if y'all looking for a school to join, you heard him say this a new program. Pretty much, it's an old program, but they just starting back up. So we could pretty
Right.
much say it's new. They rebuilding. They getting everything set up. This is, if you want a home to join and try to be a part of a program, I think this is a school that'll be more than welcome to bring you in and help build your character as a person and a player. And I got to give a shout out to Erskine College, and a big shout out to Coach Drew Engels for coming on, and he doing an amazing job with this school. And I'm telling you, if you're looking for a school to play at, hit them up, man. Consider coming to that school and at least being a part of a program that's going to help you. So I'm going to leave y'all how I always leave y'all. Keep your head up and not down, or else you'll fall to the ground. This is the Life in Football podcast. Catch you next time.
You are now listening to the Life in Football podcast. Check out the new website, lifeinfootball.com. Once again, the website is lifeinfootball.com. Thanks for listening.
Press play.
This is a new day to live your life. This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. This is a new day to live your life. This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. It's life in football. We are life in football.